Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest webinar. I want to start off by introducing Leanne Hawken, who's here today. Leanne is a good friend and just an overall incredible human. Leanne, do you mind just taking a few minutes? I know there's a spur of the moment. We didn't rehearse this. So do you mind just taking a few minutes and introducing yourself?
Sure, sure. What all do you want to know?
Well, just tell us a little bit about your background and just whatever you want to share after that.
Okay. Hi, I'm Leanne Hawken, and I am, let's see, how do I want to start this? I am a first generation college student, so I'm the first one in my family to go to college, which was a big deal. And so a lot of that talking about that you all talk about in terms of overcoming fears, that actually took a lot of courage and a lot of people saying, just go to, just go to community college, go work at the lumber mill, which is where both my parents worked. And so uh, being the first generation college student, I went ahead and did that. And I said, no, I'm gonna actually go to college. And I did well in school. And so I went to undergrad. And then I said, I love school. I'll keep going. I got my master's. And then I got my master's in psychology and emphasis in behavior analysis. And I was a behavior analyst for a couple of years and went, I'm not done with school. So I just kept going and I went and got my PhD. I sort of happened into the world of academia. And so I was a professor for 18 years. And then I got some life coaching and it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. And so I left, I joined a startup company, worked there for a while. And then I also, currently I'm working, doing consulting and helping as a behavior analyst and helping people also in terms of life coaching. What I have learned, and I also am a mother of a beautiful 13-year-old girl who I adopted on my own from birth, and she was 40 minutes old when I met her.
Wow.
She's the love of my life. And I just want to say that one of the things that keeps me coming back and excited about talking about the topics that you all are talking about is that really I didn't know that my thoughts were creating my emotions and my emotions were creating my behaviors and my results. And so I know a lot of that, you talk a lot about that here. And my thing is you can pretty much do anything, right? And so Faith has shared with you, where your focus goes, right, is where your energy flows. And so I think that's, and I just did a talk this last week to some leadership members, and they had never heard this before. So I think that I sort of think everybody has done this, but it's really actually kind of new in a sense that not everybody knows that is why. And that's what I love about connecting with you, Faith, because it's like your goal is to get this message out there, right,
Yes.
to the masses. And
Yes.
I thought, how do I get involved with Faith to be able to kind of continue? So that's why I'm here. So I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. So
Oh,
really.
so
Oh, and
excited to have you.
we met in the rucking event,
We
and
did. And not everyone knows what that is either.
yeah,
It's like
okay.
walking with weighted backpacks. So, Leanne, we have something else in common. Not only were we both professors, but I'm also a first generation college student. So,
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I was one of the first. I I was the first in my family to also get an advanced degree, but I was one of the first ones to go to and graduate with a bachelor's degree. So
Oh, that's
out of
awesome.
yeah, out of all of our siblings, three of us have bachelor's degrees now.
Oh,
So,
neat.
and two of us have advanced degrees.
Oh, neat. Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still the only one in my family that went to college. So, um, actually, I
Well,
shouldn't.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, my brother went for a little bit, but he didn't finish. So, but they have their own different things in their life that are fulfilling them. So
Yes.
not. I'm a fan of not everybody needs to go to college. There are tech schools. There are other things about finding your passion, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's a really awesome segue into today's topic of goal setting for success and happiness. Because we see all these like goal setting for success things, but how many times, and Leanne, tell me if you've done this. You work super hard, you burn the candle at both ends, your nose to the grindstone, you're like constantly grind, 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 grind. You fake it till you make it, and then you make it and you feel empty. You made the goal, you achieved the goal, you're there. And then it's like this big letdown because you're like, I'm still not happy. I thought achieving this goal would make me happy, and I'm still not happy. What happened? So I wanted to shift the topic of goal setting for success to goal setting for success and happiness, because they're missing a piece of that equation. Can you relate to what I'm talking about at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's the majority of my life. It's been, okay, once I get my bachelor's, once I get my master's, once I get tenure at the university, once and yeah, learning to enjoy the journey as part of the goal was never taught to me. That was never taught.
Yes.
It was more like, just put your head down, keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that a lot of what I've learned in the last 5 to 7 years has been is what are the daily things that can bring you joy when you're on your way. I think that's I think that's why I sent you that book. I think it's called The Book of Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Husband Tutu and
my middle name.
Yeah, so I love it because it's really about, it's not about, because we always think we're going to feel better, right?
Right.
When we reach that final destination, there's also, I think it's Robert Hastings has a poem called The Station. And it's about how we kind of neglect everything on the way. And I used to pass it out to my students saying, do not wait until you're done with your bachelor's. Do not wait till you need to go to your child's, dance recital, even if you have to miss class sometimes, right? I mean, not every week, but the idea that, we put off for tomorrow in those little joys as we are going on our way to completing our goals.
Yes. Well, Leanne and I were talking a little bit before we started recording this, that I'm in New York right now. So that's why you don't see my normal background. I'm in New York. One of my goals was, as soon as I heard that Hugh Jackman was playing in The Music Man, which was one of my favorite musicals, and he's one of my favorite actors, I just said, I've got to go to that. And so I put it out there and I said, this is my goal, is to go to this show. And it's this weekend. We went last night. And one of my most favorite lines in the show is when Professor Harold Hill, Hugh Jackman, says to Miriam Peru, he says, my dear lady, if you pile up enough of tomorrows, you'll find that you have nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. And I thought, every time it gets me, so true, so true. So with goal setting, when I first heard from Jim Rohn said this. He said, don't set a goal for the purpose of achieving it. You're going to set a big goal for the purpose of who you become in the achieving it. Like, that is the total shift right there. The equation piece that we're missing is that it's not the goal that makes us happy. It's the process of finding joy along the way. So success plus happiness equals creating joy along the way to the goal. That's the equation. And so when we get to it, it's like we just put some whipped cream on the tip top with a cherry. But we built this huge, beautiful sundae that we got to enjoy all along the way. So that's really what it's about. So it's kind of like, I want to talk really quick about goals versus tasks. We have them so confused. So I'm not going to use goal anymore. I'm going to start calling it an outcome, because when we think goal, we're like, okay, my goal is I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. So losing 20 pounds, number one, it's not really a goal. Number two, it's not really something that you can focus on and get excited about. Number three, because it's hard to focus on loss and get excited. That's why. Number three, when you think about losing something, you're going to attract into your life more to lose, which means you'll probably end up putting on weight. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds, you'll probably actually gain weight if that is your goal. So instead, what is the outcome you want? Well, the New York Marathon's going on right now. Right this very moment, it's going on. The winner should be probably just already finished just now or a few minutes ago. So what if your outcome was, I want to get in shape to run the New York Marathon? You got to get in pretty dang good shape to run the New York Marathon. So what if that was an outcome that was really exciting to you? And you worked every day towards this outcome that you could visualize, that you can think about, that you could really just get in the groove with. That 20 pounds is going to be a happy byproduct of reaching this desired outcome that you can have fun with along the way. And that is the purpose. That is the key. Having fun along the way. Because what is the purpose of life if we're all just going to be miserable? What's the purpose? So I'm sorry if I cut you off, Leanne. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, you didn't cut me off. I think it's really interesting because you're right. The more that we're trying to focus on losing, right? Getting rid of things in our life, right? That's actually providing lots of, it's not positive energy that we're providing towards it. It's typically, right. We're coming from a place of lack is basically, right? I'm not who I want to be until this is gone, right?
Yes.
So.
And we can never create abundance in a lack mind state. So that's why I created. So have you all heard of a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal?
I hadn't heard that.
The BHAG, which I think is actually great. It's a great model. It's a great format to have a big, hairy, audacious goal, something you can be excited about. But I've changed that, and I've actually created something called the BOLT method. And so BOLT is big outcome, little tasks. And I did that to separate the outcome from the tasks in your mind, because we confuse a task with an outcome, and they're very, very different. And so if you want, we're gonna change goal, and it's gonna become an outcome. Okay, our goal is gone. Goodbye, goal. We're gonna kick you away, and we're now creating outcomes. Because we have in our mind this thing that a goal is this ideal whatever that we're going to achieve and be happy. But the goal is actually an outcome that we think is going to make us happy. Anything that we move towards in life, we do for the purpose that we think it's going to bring us joy and happiness. Anything. So if the outcome is to achieve something that we think is going to bring joy and happiness, then we're going to have little tasks along the way that help support that outcome. And it's not stressful, and it's not burning the candle at both ends, because what you'll find is when you have this beautiful outcome that you're so excited about, the tasks that you're doing to support it actually become exciting. They become fun because you are in the momentum of excitement and you're in the momentum of fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Sometimes things make sense in my head and then I try to say them and it's like, blah. So
can you give us an example of when you've done it out of, you've done the goal setting or you're calling them outcomes, which I love. And where you've done it out of joy and when you haven't done it out of joy.
Yes, I can tell you right now. All right. So when I got my master's degree, my goal was to get my master's degree. So that was actually an outcome. It was not something that I did, though, because I was really excited about it. I had a drive to do it. I did it because I knew that in my field, a master's degree meant that I could move into a position that I really, really wanted, and I could make a considerable amount of more money. So that was important to me. However, I really stressed myself out about being the best along the way. I had to get all A's, and I actually got one I ended up getting 1B in one class, and I thought it was going to be the death of me. I was constantly stressed. I was working 3 jobs because I was a single mom, but I was like grind, sleeping 4 hours a night, grind. And I didn't enjoy any of it. And when I finally got to the end and graduated, I felt so much relief. And then it was like this vacuum void, just like, crap, now what? Like, I've done all of this, and now I'm still not happy. Now what? Now what? So that was really frustrating for me. And then, so another thing that this is actually a weight loss one. So for a while, so I was around 250 pounds at one point in my life, and I lost enough weight. I was down to 160. So I almost lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And then slowly over time, things happened, and I got out of my regular routine. And over the past 3 years, I got up to like 213. And I just kept thinking, oh, if I can just lose weight, if I can just lose 10 pounds, if I can just lose 20 pounds. And I was blowing up like a balloon. I couldn't seem to lose weight. I couldn't seem to focus on things. I was feeling really sad. I was feeling gross about myself. And then I really shifted my mindset. And I started thinking, I'm just going to appreciate me, because I can still get out every day. I can still exercise. I can still do amazing things with my body. And so I'm just going to appreciate me. So every morning I start with my feet, and I appreciate my feet, and I keep going. Like, I just feel love and appreciation for me. And through that process, I was connected with people who connected me with other people who then helped me go in and balance my hormones and get the help that I needed to then start losing weight. And I'm down over, I don't even know now, because it's probably like 13 pounds or whatever. But so, and it's all been because I shifted my focus from, oh, poor me, I can't seem to lose weight, I'm tired, I feel gross, to I appreciate my body and all that it does for me. And I lived through that appreciation. And because of that, I was open enough to hear what people were saying to me and receiving recommendations and feeling what was right for me. When you're in a state of lack and you're in a state of ingratitude, you can't feel those promptings of alignment of what is right and what you need. So you're just cutting yourself off from it.
Right.
So that was an example of when I actually shifted. And so,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I do have another goal that I checked off this weekend as well. It's kind of a long-term goal. I don't have a deadline or anything, but I want to race in every state in the United States. And it's so much fun. And since we were going to New York, and last year I raced in New York, I just decided I'm going to see what's close by. And there was a race 34 minutes from our hotel in New Jersey. I hadn't checked off New Jersey. Yesterday morning, I got up early and I went and ran a race in New Jersey and took beautiful pictures. And I attached them to the email that I sent out this morning. And I checked my 17th state off the list. And so it's just so much fun. It's this great outcome that someday I'll have this map that's all colored in with all the states that I've raced in. And I'm just having fun with it.
That's awesome. That's fun.
Yeah. I think goals or outcomes, they should be fun. So we want to focus on the outcome. Focus on the outcome, not the task. So the difference then between an outcome and a task is the outcome is what you're visualizing, that thing that is going to happen, that you're super excited for it to come into your life, that you want to manifest. Like, for example, the house that I talked about that I manifested, I've manifested my husband. I'm not even kidding you.
I
He,
love it.
I totally manifested him. And the tasks are the little things that happen along the way to get to the outcome. And one of the important things to remember is you don't have to force the tasks. If it feels like it's slogging you down, like it's work, like you're tired, if it's draining your energy, you don't do that one. Don't do that one. Here's what I do. I make a list of all the tasks that I need to do for my outcome. And then as I go through them, I say, which one feels the best to work on today? And I pick the one that feels the best. Why? People think, well, that's ludicrous. What if it's not the most important? Okay. I pick the one that feels the best because I'm putting my best energy into it. And it's going to get the best of me. Therefore, it's going to turn out much better than if I had just picked one that I thought, oh, that's if I'd eaten the frog first, and just done the thing I didn't really didn't want to do first, then it would have not been as good because it wouldn't have had my full like love and energy in it, if that makes sense.
And one of the things that happens when we do that is we also get behavioral momentum, right? So maybe, right? So we start with that task that we can put our love into, and then we're in the space of being more open to maybe there, what, well, that was easy and that felt good. And now what else can I do? Right. What else would, so as a behavior analyst, that's what we call behavioral mentoring. We start with things that I've never used the word love, but it is actually, if we do start with some of we get behavior, we get momentum, we get our energy going, and that's going to lead to more tasks getting accomplished just by the movement, as going forward.
And you get so much more done. By the way, Leanne, you just took the next, just right out of my notes, just
Oops.
Done, boom, done. No, it was perfect. Because you get that momentum and then you get so much more done. But when you start the day pushing the car up the hill, you're not going to get as much done because you don't want to do it. So you're going to procrastinate. Oh, I need to wash my dishes. Oh, I really need to, sweep the floor or whatever, since I work from home. So, I always bring up home things. But it's so true. You gather that momentum, that behavioral momentum is what you called it.
Yep, this is called.
Yeah, so you gather that behavioral momentum and you get more done because the first one you're like, woohoo, look at that. It was amazing. And then you look at the list again and you pick the next one that feels the best. And then the next one that feels the best. And that's my secret to getting so much freaking done every day. That's my secret. And it's really not a secret. People just think it doesn't work because it's fun. Fun works, people. And it's more fun.
What do you recommend if there's things on the list that will never seem fun, or what would you recommend for people to do?
All right, I'm really glad you asked that because my mom used to give me some advice and I hated it when she gave it to me, but I learned that she was so right. And the advice was, in whatever you're doing, if you find the element of fun in it, it no longer feels like work. And growing up, this was actually before I'd ever seen Mary Poppins, but maybe she got it from Mary Poppins. I don't know. But you snap and the job's a game. So I learned to look for things in tasks that I don't want to do that could align with something enjoyable for me. So really finding fun in the task, because there are things that we don't want to do. Absolutely. But once you start, you get that behavioral momentum. And if you can't find anything fun, then just say, okay, I'm going to write this email for 30 seconds. Actually, I would do not 30 seconds, for 32 seconds. There's a reason why it's 32. I'll tell you in a minute. So I'm going to spend 32 seconds writing this email. And so you write the email for 32 seconds and you actually gain momentum. And the reason that's 32 is because when you focus on something for 17 seconds, at that 17-second mark, like energy joins that. And so at 32 seconds, now you have some momentum going. At 68 seconds, you have a lot of momentum going. So that's why instead of 30 seconds, 32 seconds. Then you really, I guarantee by the time you reach 32 seconds on that email, there will be something else you're willing to put into that email that stretches you beyond that 32 seconds because you've gathered that momentum. But you just have to chunk it down to small enough bites that you're willing to just take a little nibble for long enough to get started. Housekeeping is here.
Didn't put the do not disturb on, huh?
Hold on just one moment. They had us as checking out today.
Oh no.
So, whew, she was on her way in when I got to the door. So glad I jumped up there. Oh, by the way, this is my shirt I got from my race yesterday. So wearing my shirt.
You can stand up.
Oh, let's see. Can you see it better?
Oh yeah, what is it?
It's just gray. It says the Friends of Liberty State Park Run for Liberty 2022.
Okay.
So
neat.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, I feel like I lost a little bit of momentum. That was funny. Not my joke, just the whole thing. Well, maybe my joke was funny. I don't know. Okay. So one thing I wanted to bring up is we use our brains, or we think of our brains a lot as storage cabinets, and they're actually not. Our brains are not storage cabinets. Our brains are tools of creation. So start treating your brain as a tool of creation, because that is what it is. You're creating all these beautiful things in your life. It's not there just to store all the stuff that you want to just rehash. It's not helping you anymore. There's not just there to store information so you can remember it on a test. It's not its purpose. It's one of the great things it does for you, but its purpose is to help you create the things that you want to create in your life. That's the purpose of your brain. So start appreciating it some more. Appreciate that.
I love it.
Well, we only have about 4 minutes left before it kicks us off. So anything you want to close with, Leanne?
I think that the main thing when I think about outcomes, and I'm going to call them outcomes, not goals, yes, is that one of the things that gets in, the biggest things that get in your way is what you're thinking, right? So that's the kind of thing as we're planning our goals and as we're looking at our outcomes and at our tasks, I would be, if there are times you don't want to do something, what is it that's creating that feeling and creating the behavior of not wanting to work on your tasks? Is it actually, I don't think I can make this. Why did I even create this goal? So I think if as you're going and doing those tasks, if your thoughts are, hey, I don't even know why I'm doing this. This isn't fun. Why did I create this goal? You're second guessing yourself. Then those are your thoughts. That's going to not lead to behavior that you want, right?
Right.
So when you're feeling, because what happens a lot of times, we get really excited. There's dopamine hits when we get, when we write a goal and we start a goal, right? There's a lot of brain chemicals that are very exciting, but as we're getting further away from just setting that, we lose a little momentum. And a lot of that has to do with, what are you telling yourself?
Yes.
What are you saying to yourself to keep you, excited and to keep the behavioral momentum? So,
Yes. Those thoughts turning to emotions.
right,
Absolutely. Because as you said in the very beginning, where your focus goes, that's where your energy is going to flow.
right,
So if your focus is on the negative stuff, the stuff that's going to drag you down, the stuff that's going to make you feel sluggish and ugh, then that's where your energy is going to go. But if you shift that focus, right, your thoughts are what you're going to be focusing on, then, and your thoughts create your beliefs. Remember that a belief is just something you've thought over and over and over again. So your focus is shifted to, I can do this. I can start this. I can do 32 seconds. You can do 32 seconds of appreciation every morning. I promise. You can look around your room and find something or some things to appreciate for 32 seconds. I promise. And if you just do that, and if you can't do that, try 17 seconds. 17 seconds. And then you build that momentum, you build that momentum, you build that momentum. Just chunk it down, make it small. It's actually super simple to do. The only reason it's not easy is because we make it not easy. We resist. We resist, we resist, we resist. I don't know why we resist. Because we just don't want to be happy. I don't know. But we do, we resist. We feel like the world was meant for us to just endure. We must endure our lives.
right,
Okay, if you want to live that way, but I don't.
right, right, right. And I think there's a lot of people glorify. I had to work, blood, sweat, and tears to reach this
Mm-hmm.
goal. I had to, and there's a lot of um, romanticize, or romanticize, is that the right word?
Yeah, it
Where
actually
like,
is.
I had to do this to reach my goal. I had to, and it's almost like a badge of honor if they had to
Mm-hmm.
suffer on the way to the goal. But that's actually not how it should be, right?
No, it's our mechanism for trying to get rid of imposter syndrome. If I had to work super, super, super hard, then I deserve this.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
you deserve good things just because you are here and you deserve good things. Period. You don't have to do anything special to be deserving. That's it.
Right.
Right. So, well, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got to close before it just stops on us. So, there will be a blog post on this on the website, faithjoybooks.com. You can go in and you can read the whole blog. You can watch this video again. I will also post the link in our Freedom Over Fear group, and I'll send it out to the email list. So everyone will have it that wants it. As always, come and join our webinars. Leanne's going to start leading some. It's going to be super awesome and amazing. If you have topics that you want, just shoot them over to hello@faithjoybooks.com and we'll get those topics in for the webinars. So we have less than a minute remaining. Look us up on social media. Faith Joy. Leanne, what's yours?
Leanne Hawken.
Faith Joy. I'm sorry, Faith Joy Solom, and then Leanne Hawken. And that's it. It's going to close now. So
Awesome. Thank you, Faith.
yeah,
Thanks for
thank you
having
all
me.
so much. Sending love to everyone. Bye.
Bye.